Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's Lowdown. The topic today is going to be really based a lot towards beginner golfers, and it's a lot about me venting today because I've heard the same expression said to me over the last 2 or 3 weeks about 5 or 6 times. And the expression I've heard said to me is, I'm teaching students around the green, and they'll say, "Well, Liam, I am more comfortable using my wedge than I am my sand wedge, or I am my 8-iron." Or if we're on the tee box hitting balls and working on their swing, they're like, "I don't like the 7-iron, I much prefer to hit the 8-iron." And that kind of thing drives me nuts, and so I want to address it a little bit today. And I have a little analogy here, and I borrowed 2 drill bits here. And I think you can see probably well enough. Jeff, confirm me if you can see that well enough or not. But this drill bit here is longer and wider than this one is over on my left hand here. And if I want to put a big drill hole in my wall, I use this drill bit. If I want to drill a small drill or a hole in my wall, I use a smaller drill bit. When I hold the drill, I don't do a different technique. I just hammer it into the wall as fast as I can. Okay, I'm not doing anything different. They just create different holes because they are different tools. In my hands, I have an 8-iron and a gap wedge. One has 52 degrees aloft, one has, think back from that, had approximately about 40 degrees aloft, 38 degrees aloft. And my guess is right now, as you're watching me, as I back up, most of you, unless you really study it, can't tell which one's a gap wedge and which one's an 8-iron. Okay, they are simply 2 different tools. Okay, and when I swing them, if I take a full swing with my gap wedge, for me, it goes about 100 yards. If I take a full swing with my 8-iron, it goes about 140 yards, 135 to 140 yards. They are simply 2 different tools. Around the green, if I use a gap wedge and I hit it on the front of the green, as you can see, it rolls out a few feet. If I use my 8-iron to hit it on the front of the green, it's going to zip all the way up that hill. Hopefully it stays up here. I think you get the idea. Okay, they are simply different tools. And in order to become an accomplished golfer, you have to know what they do different when you take them on a full swing. You have to know the distance that they go. You have to know what they can do for you around the green. You don't have to change your technique at all. They are simply different tools that produce different functions. So if you want to get better, get rid of the idea that one club's better than the other, you're more comfortable with one club than the other. That's not going to get you any better. Apply logic to the situation. They do different things. You use them in different situations. We'll see you next week on the Lowdown, where we're going to talk about your slice.